So we are here with our third panel. I am Kimberly Rozier Jean-Louis. I'm the CEO of 3D Strategic Management, who serves as the operator of the Orlando MBDA Business Center. We're excited to be here and have everyone here at a magical place. Thank you, Disney, for hosting. We are also here because we wanted to be able to talk about a lot of things nerdy, right? So we have a dynamic panel. Really quick, 3D Strategic Management actually has a team that has a combined 180 years of experience. We provide business development services across 5 platforms. So with my dynamic team, I want to talk about this dynamic team. So let me introduce you. Since we're talking about getting nerdy, I'm putting on my glasses. That and the fact I'm a little bit older and had some kids. So let me introduce the panel. First, we have Masai Durabi, who is with the Washington Area Community Investment Fund. We also have attorney Divine Joseph Smith, who is a partner with Smith and Williams Trial Group, among 3 other businesses that she owns. We also have the Honorable Demetra D. Clemens, who is a commissioner and has a business as well that she's going to talk about, which is DCL Public-Private Solutions Group. And last but not least, we have Tiffany Carter, who's the executive director of the Women's Business Enterprise Council, the South Center. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I'd like for each one of you to talk about yourself and all that you bring to this world. So let's start with you, Masai.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Masai Durabi. I'm the program director of the Enterprising Women of Color DMV Business Center. And I'm so excited to be part of a network of centers nationally that is committed to the success of women of color entrepreneurs. So what an exciting time that we live in, that we have such an amazing network of organizations. We do that work through the Washington Area Community Investment Fund. It's a 34-year-old organization based in Washington, D.C., and we've been doing inclusive entrepreneurship and community world building since day one. So my own background, I have sort of a varied background. I actually started out as an auditor, and shortly after realized my passion is actually the arts and creating access to the arts for as many people as possible. So my first business was Go Artful, which is an art and technology company, which is actually focused on expanding access to the arts, expanding access for artists that are normally not represented in the arts world. And while that was my first experience with entrepreneurship, it was sort of the thing that led me to the work that I'm doing today, the conviction that when you're a woman of color, when you're an entrepreneur, that path can be extremely lonely and difficult. And I wanted to make sure that no other woman had to do that on her own. And so that's how I ended up doing this work. And I'm excited to be on a panel with these amazing women.
That was absolutely amazing. My name is Divine Smith. I'm a partner with Smith and Williams. We are a full-service law firm specializing in individuals and complex businesses and helping them solve their problems. We also have a title company as well. In this day and age, considering the pandemic, considering the global economic state, our major push is making sure that individuals and businesses have their generational wealth preserved. We want to preserve the estates and the legacy planning of you and your family and your loved ones. So we're here, I'm here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Hi, I am Demetrius D. Clemens. I wear 3 hats. I am a local elected official, and in that role, I create policies to make sure that small business women that look like me have opportunities to money. I've been an elected official for 5 years. I also am known as a multipreneur, which means that I have a diverse platform of businesses, and I have businesses, everything from a portfolio of franchises to other supplies and training consulting firms. And lastly, I am a professional entrepreneur developer. That is a certification similar to a business coach, but on a different level to really teach entrepreneurs how to launch their business, how to scale up, and how to sustain their business. I've been self-employed for 30 years. When I started at 23 years old, I didn't know about having access to capital. It was just you get out there, you make it happen. And so I bring a wealth of knowledge, information, and experience. Most companies hire me to coach you. I have a great relationship with Axion. If you don't know about Axion, it's ACCION. I am one of their coaches in their coaching hub. So if you contact Axion and say, I want Dee to teach me how to grow my business, they will pay me to do that. So please take advantage of that. They have me in their coaching hub, and because of my subject matter expertise in helping you grow your business, I'm here to help you. So thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least, good afternoon. My name is Tiffany Carter. I am the director of the Enterprising Women of Color program at Webex South. You met Phil Meyer, my executive director, earlier. It is incredibly exciting to be a part of this wonderful panel. I bring 20 years of procurement and contracting experience in multiple industries such as maritime, rail, also construction, transportation, and water management. So I left all of that behind to make sure that I share that blueprint with women of color and women around the country that want to do work with public sector. We are very excited to be here.
Thank you, ladies. So we've got some real talent sitting here. So let's get to it. So we've heard about certification, and we've heard about if you own a business, how do you do business with either private or public. But now we're talking to business owners, okay? So we're going to find out this. Let me ask you this question. How do you play the game, right? How can you give tips and tools in your particular area to women business owners so they can be successful? And let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. We got to grow some businesses. We got to take them to the next level of scaling. So let's go. Masai?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. And I think there are two things I would say let's focus on, because we have a lot we could cover in the next 30 minutes. First thing that comes to mind is when you're talking about access to capital, we know that capital is the only way to grow your business. There's no way around it, whether it's a loan from a rich uncle, which we all hope we had, or whether it's going to a bank, or whether it's reinvesting the money that's coming from your business. Capital is the only way forward. It's the only way for growth. Oftentimes, though, I think businesses think, I'm not ready yet. But when you start pursuing capital, if that's the point when you're starting to prepare, it's already too late. First word of advice that I have for you is don't wait to prepare until you're ready to pursue capital. So that means putting your financial statements in place. It means thinking about really from day one of your business, how does the next infusion of cash into my business help it grow? That could be an additional staff person. It could be an additional piece of equipment. It could be a new location. Really think about that every day. And if you're just starting out, think about that so that when there's the opportunity to pursue capital through a grant, through a loan, through a credit card, you already know what you're going to do with it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is really exploring all the options that exist to access capital, right? I think we typically think about traditional financial institutions. But if you're not familiar with CDFIs, which are Community Development Financial Institutions, which is what WACF is, we are institutions that are really committed to not just investing in a business, but investing in human beings. We're really looking at a business comprehensively. When you come to a CDFI, what makes us special is that we're not just looking at collateral. We're not just looking at your credit score. Of course, those things are important. In fact, they're one of the 5 things that any financial institute would look at. But we really are investing in you as a business and as a human being, as an entrepreneur. And we have other structures to support that. We have small business advisors, we have trainings, we have accelerators. And so think about all of the options that are out there for you. So not just go to the most obvious place. And I would say also just be really hyper aware of the conditions that exist outside of your business, right? So right now, I think we're all aware how COVID-19 has really changed the way people spend their money, the way that we shop, everything has changed. So really have a sense of what are the things you might need to alter in your business to make you prepared to take advantage of existing conditions and use that to capitalize on and grow your business. That's what I would leave it at that.
Yeah, access to capital is definitely one, and also making sure you have your legal structure set up. So thank you. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. When you have a baby, the first thing that people tell you, or the thing that comes to mind, is grow your village. Make sure you know your village. Make sure you know who to call, who to lean on, and who can assist you rear these children. The same rule applies when you are starting a business. Know your support system. You don't know if you don't ask, and you're not going to know if you don't ask. I think that it is extremely important for you to reach out of your comfort zone, especially for people like me who are naturally introverts. It's important for you to go out of your comfort zone and get uncomfortable so that you can do the business that you need to do. If you're not willing to get dirty, if you're not willing to get comfortable, then you're not willing to be successful. Yes, it's scary, but someone else has been there before you have, and if they did it, you can too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's not much any of us are going to say that you may not have already heard, but I will tell you, being in business for 30 years, I did start businesses with no money. I have had to take my talent and go into a business and say, hey, I don't have the money to buy this business, but if you will allow me to work for you, the money that I earn, I will save that money and I'll buy this business from you. I think the first thing that you need to do as an entrepreneur is do an internal inventory of what you already have. It wasn't until year 25 that I did a HELOC to fund the franchises that I started buying. And so there are ways around the things you need, but it's going to be really important that you build an ecosystem and a network of people that you can rely on and depend on to help you do that. And another thing that you said about a family, I always tell, I have 2 daughters and one of them have taken the path of entrepreneurship, but I always said business is like a baby. You got to carry that thing for 9 months, then you got to carry it for 12 months until it can walk on its own. Be prepared, do that internal inventory, and be prepared to take the thing. So my advice is that it's not a short game, it's a long game. And you got to be able to be sustainable. And the best thing to do is to make sure you have an ecosystem. And we'll talk more about that. I'm sure that I'll have an opportunity to talk about that.
And my advice would be to follow up. And being in the position that I was in as a procurement director, I met thousands of companies all the time. And it's very difficult to point out the stars. So you have to shine for us. You have to shine for those potential clients that you're looking to connect with. So I will tell you, develop approach, develop a lead list, stick to your lead list, follow up. It may take 7, 10, 20 times, but continue to pursue your leads and follow up.
Yeah, because if you're in business, it's a long haul.
It's a long haul.
Yeah, and you need a strong village, and you have to make sacrifices.
Yeah,
and you have to have your access to capital in line. Yeah. So let's go to the next question. How do you keep your business or your organization protected from cybersecurity? What are some SOPs or standing operating procedures that you've implemented? I know that I have, and most businesses have been affected by some type of cybersecurity, and we wanted to talk about that today. So can you provide for us some SOPs or some things that you're doing to protect your entities?
I can go.
Yes.
First and foremost, you hire a team. Again, that support system is very, very crucial. Yeah. What you don't know, you don't know. Right. I am not an IT person. I do not have a tech background. I can't even tell you how to put a reel together that everyone is doing right now. But I have Marshall and I have Clarissa, and I can ask questions and I can send, text messages. I have my support system that are able to protect me, and I'm confident that their information is going to do just that.
Yeah. Same. So I had Regine. We actually had a situation where someone was able to hack into our system, and they had a code, and so the code was at any time the word invoice or payment or wire was used, the email was sent to their email.
Wow.
So instantly we were able to capture that, but the most amount of cybersecurity and hacks go to small and growing emerging businesses. So it's important that, again, if you don't have a team, that you get the team together. Would someone else like to opine on that subject? Yes.
I would. We were very fortunate to recruit cybersecurity EWOCs in our system. So we have 2 to 3 companies. Ours is named Teresa, the one in our office that's there daily. And what we've done also is done lunch and learns around cybersecurity for other EWOCs to learn what she knows very, very well. So we've shared and we continue to share and practice, put in best practices, not only internally in an organization, but share those with the small businesses we work with.
Yeah.
And I will say that in your businesses, what all businesses need, what some businesses need, all businesses don't need. Right. Okay. So, I had to question, okay, in which one of my businesses is cybersecurity important to me? So if you are product based, you need to think about what technology is part of that business and where do you need, that protection. But also you mentioned the standard operating policies or procedures. So, that's important. That's a whole nother thing. But I'll say that, you often hear the quote, jack of all trades, master of none. Well, guess what? That quote goes further. It's jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than the master of one. So when you know that you do everything and you're trying to do everything in your business, find somebody that just does that one thing and get
Correct.
them. So I just want to always say that even though we can do everything,
Yeah.
because we're women and we're Black women and
Yes.
and we're women of color, we can do everything. You don't have to do everything.
Right. Yeah.
So I would just want to put that pitch out there.
So let's talk about doing everything, right? I often say that as a mother in a relationship, as in the civic organization, I feel like I have plates that are on sticks and they're spinning. And so the more I take on, the more plates I'm adding, the more they're spinning. And I know which one is spinning and I know right before it falls. And so, and that is the case with most entrepreneurs. And so I want to talk about this word balance. Okay. So how do you find it with a family, with a business, being in a civic organization, or just being there for yourself?
I think that is the $1 million question that we're all trying to solve for. And I would say, for me, it's been a lifelong challenge, and it's figuring out what are the spaces and the activities that have the most value added. And this goes in your business as well. What is the one thing that you could do in your day that is going to triple and, double and triple your revenue capacity, right? And that means even as, as a human being too, what is the one thing, or what are the few sets of activities only you can do? Those other things that are the checking the email, getting back to clients, all of those things are important, but are they truly adding value? And so that's the thing I would try to say, look at your week, look at the way you're spending your time, and be just hyper intentional about only doing those things that are advancing your cause and that are getting you closer to your mission.
I would also add that you need to be flexible. You can have control one day, something happens and it throws you off balance. And so you need to be able to structure yourself really, really, really quick and get back on your feet. And as Masai was saying, you need to know what you can do. And I think the art of having balance is putting you first. And as women, we tend to not do that because we have to wear many hats. We have to be wives. We have to be mothers. We have to run a practice. We have to run a support staff. And it's extremely difficult. But if you can't put you first, meaning saying, yes, I can do this, no, I can't do that, then you're always going to struggle with finding balance.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that. We are all hearing this word about mindset. Like everybody's talking about mindset. And I will say that when you think about mindset, you've got to have a mission for everything that you do. I learned a couple of years ago, I got on this path that the most valuable thing that I have is what I can never get back, and that is my time. You can never get back that time. And so when you get your mindset, your mission, and your vision of why you're doing things, and if none of it relates back to you're doing it because it makes you feel good, then you got to add that into your agenda. You got to add that into your time. So I think that finding balance means really understanding what you want in life, having a mission, and making sure that every time that you spend it relates back to that mission and that mindset.
Yeah. And I'd like to add, talking about personalizing yourself and making sure some of the things that I do, practical things I do, is put focus time, and I learned that from Fela. So shout out to Fela for teaching me that. But we actually schedule myself on my own schedule. So every day at 4 p.m. to 5, when I'm able, that's my time. That's my time to think about all the things that I did throughout the day, any follow-ups, and certainly plan for the next day. And it has been game-changing for me. And we do walk-in meetings now. We did our first one in Memphis last week at an EWOC event. The three of us wanted to meet, so we took it on the road and we walked. A little self-care while we met.
Wow.
So little things like that, little practical things like that are doable.
Yeah, and I'm hearing giving yourself permission not to be perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If that laundry is there one more day, it's going to be there one more day. Be there one more day. Yeah, and it's going to be okay because it's clean or dirty, but it's going to be okay.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, but having a laser focus on what's important and what you need to move forward, and forgiving yourself the things that you don't do daily.
And Kimberly, can I say this? I see so many women entrepreneurs going to every network event that pop up on social media. Please stop that. Ladies, make sure that there's going to be a true return. If you're going, have a mission of why you're going, know what you're going to get out. Write down that when I go to this meeting, when I walk out, this is what I'm going to walk out with. Right. So therefore, if you get it in 5 minutes, leave. But don't stay all night long and then you walk out and you're no better. You're not in any better shape you were in when you walked into that networking. So we need to network with a purpose.
Yes.
And everything we do, do it with a purpose.
With purpose. All right. Come on. I like how you ended that. Oh, man. Okay, so we have another question. Ewok is a multi-generational platform. If you could talk to your 25-year-old self, your 25-year-old entrepreneur self, what would you say? Now that, for me, it was last year, but it may not be the case for some of you. So
It is not.
I'd like to hear. So let's start with Tiffany, I'm sorry.
Command the room. Don't just show up in a room. Let's not be excited just to be in the room, but command it. Be brave. If you're the only, use that to your advantage. And I've been the only for many times, and I was not brave enough to stand out. I sat in the back in the rafters because I was the only. 25 years later, I would say command the room. Sit at that table and talk to everyone that's next to you.
Right.
And leave with 3 leads. Make sure that time is valuable.
Yeah.
I've sat in a lot of rooms and walked away without anything, so certainly have changed that. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner.
I would say that I would invest more of my profits back into more businesses and probably franchise, because I started franchising very late in the game. But having buying a business that already has processes and infrastructure in place, had I done this years ago, I probably would not be still doing business. I probably would be just living on the beach all the time. Now I just live on the beach 10 days a month.
Come on, Bora Bora lifestyle.
But I would probably have franchised and bought into businesses that already had things in place instead of trying to create it.
Yeah. Good. Especially if you haven't had an opportunity or experience in running a invest in a franchise that already has those SOPs, that has the brand recognition, it has the access to capital already set up. Absolutely.
I'm not 25 yet, but if I were
Next year.
forward thinking, I would say be gracious to me. Being everything to everyone is very daunting. It's very heavy. And it robs me of the opportunity to be gracious to myself. And I think that would be the one thing that I take back. I would, give me a little bit of grace.
But we got you now.
It.
We got you now.
You got me?
Next year for your 25th birthday, I'm going to give you grace.
Thank you.
So these are all so beautiful and things I'm still trying to learn. For me, I would say it's trusting your intuition and knowing when to take a risk. And I think in all of our lives and all of our businesses, there will be instances where we can almost feel like there's momentum. You're getting those calls, people are reaching out to you, you're getting the attention. And we tell ourselves, just wait, let's just wait until all the conditions are right. Let's make sure that we're ready to leap. And I think we hold ourselves back so much because we don't trust our intuitions. So whether you're running a business or just for yourself, and this is what I tell myself every day still, is that when it's time to take a risk, you really have to trust yourself and you have to leap. You have to leap. And that comes back to the access to capital, right? When you're out there and you're asking any financial institution to fund your business, if you're not speaking with conviction, if you're not clear about who you are, what you're doing, how this is going to help your business grow, they're not going to have the faith in you. So I would say, yes, trust your own intuition and just know when to jump.
Yeah. Yeah. Entrepreneurship definitely is leaping and free falling, and you never stop free falling.
Right.
But if you believe in what you're free falling for, then you enjoy the journey.
All right.
So we flash back, let's flash forward. Okay. So we all are either business owners or definitely leading businesses. What are some things that you see coming down the pipeline that we should be looking for, or that we should be, or that you're looking at and you're focused on? So we'd start with Masai.
I think I talked a little bit about conditions earlier, and right now there's such a tremendous amount and really overdue energy that's being focused on supporting minority entrepreneurs, women of color entrepreneurs, and that we all know is so long overdue. But while it's beautiful that there's this focus right now, we also know that's not going to last forever. So one thing I'm thinking about, we're seeing grants and opportunities for women of colors pop up every single day. And I sit there at my desk thinking, yes, this is great, but how long? do we have to take advantage of this? So going a little bit to what I was saying earlier, this is the time. If you know you're going to be pursuing these opportunities, do it now. So I am, excited to be part of an ecosystem that's going to hopefully sustain the support for 10, 15, 20 years until we get it right and no longer need it. But I think we have to act in the moment that we're in right now to take advantage of it.
Oh, nice. Okay, so from a legal perspective, Attorney Smith, what are some things as women business owners that we should be looking at and looking forward to?
I think we need to pause and we need to ride the momentum. I think it's very, very critical that we don't get so comfortable with our daily routine, with how we do business, get so comfortable with my way of doing things and get uncomfortable, so that you are able to ride the momentum, so that you are able to jump on the social media frenzy, so that you are able to take these opportunities. If you stay stagnant, then you won't be able to grow. And growing is the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
It's the ultimate goal.
Yeah. Within legal structure and so that you don't get in trouble. So
right, and then you call me to ensure that all your documents and policies are in place and that they're in compliance, and I got you.
Right. So I just want to take this moment and answer this question by saying that there is money out there. We just need to be prepared to get the money. And there are opportunities out there. We need to be prepared to get the opportunities. And one of the things, and I mentioned Axion, and I have to say Axion again, I hope it's okay. But it's ACCION, Axion Opportunity Fund. People that have been in the industry a long time know about this micro enterprise. It's a nonprofit. They give money away primarily to small businesses, but they have a real target. They're looking for minority-owned businesses to give money to, so much that they will allow me to coach you to make sure you get the money. So call Axion Opportunity Fund, go to dclemens.com, send me a message, I'll give you the information, but I definitely want people to go after the money that's out there, go after the opportunities that are out there, but you gotta be ready. And so before you go, get ready and let someone that knows how to get you there help you get there. And I think for us as women that are in business, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
This what you guys are doing and what the Minority Business Development Agents Association is doing is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be lifting as we climb. So let's get ready, let's go get the money, and let's make the opportunities happen.
Let's do it.
And just to piggyback on her one more time, Dee, one of my best saying is stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Get ready.
All right.
And speaking of money, there's a lot of infrastructure money coming
Yes.
to every
Yes.
state.
Yeah.
So pay attention, attend those public bid meetings and find out more and more information. They're going to need subcontractors, and much of this money has DBE goals attached to it. So getting certified, the EWOC centers are there to help you. We're all here to help those who are interested in that space. And look, everyone's a customer. If your dry cleaner is buying something, if you're selling something that you're dry cleaning, everywhere you go, there's a customer. And if you think that way, I think that you will be certainly productive moving forward.
Nice. So we're walking with purpose.
Absolutely.
We're forgiving ourselves when we're not perfect.
That's right.
We're looking for access to capital. We're not going to take too much time to look back, but we're springing forward.
That's it.
Right? So thank you so much for coming today and participating, giving those nuggets and those words of wisdom. So